Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Yusuf. For activity 3 task 3 on requirement elicitation, firstly I'm going to explain about system archaeology. Our functionality is to run the software itself based on manuals and specification and complemented with other techniques to elicit new and changed functionality. Steps to carry out system archaeology is firstly to need exact requirements to create questionnaires, conduct interview and record the audio based on the questions created, analyze the results that is obtained from the interview, and create a summary based on the results obtained from the interview. Now for pros of system archaeology is independent of stakeholders, the existing know-how is conserved, in identifies basic factors and provide detailed requirements. For cons of system archaeology, existing improper solutions are kept, a lot of work is done, and familiarity or requirements engineer is implementation language. And the Kano model of system archaeology is base factor, which is dissatisfier. Now moving on to the next requirement elicitation on perspective-based reading. For the definition of perspective-based reading is to examine a software artifact description from the perspectives of the artifact stakeholder in order to identify defects. The steps and procedures that is carried out for conducting a perspective-based reading is defect classification, which describes defect classes to be used in defect list. Time recording log for recording the time spent on reading. Defect list on recording the found defects. Recording instructions on specific for the user, designer, and tester perspective respectively. Modeling forms for specific for the user, designer, and tester perspectives specifically. Moving on to pros. Firstly is to select a set of perspective for reviewing the requirement document. To create a tailoring procedure for each perspective usable for building a model for the relevant requirements information. Argument each procedure with questions finding defects while creating the model. Apply the procedure to review the document. Now for cons is broken down into 6 parts. Firstly, for missing information, it is also broken down into 5 parts, which are any significant requirement related to functionality, performance, design, constraint, attributes, or external interface that is not included. Identified software responses to all realizable classes of input data in all realizable classes of situations. Sections of requirements document, figured label and references table and diagrams. Definition of terms and units of measurement. For second point for cons is ambiguous information. Multiple interpretations caused by using multiple terms for the same characteristics or multiple meanings of a term in particular context. For the third point for cons is inconsistent information. Two or more requirements that conflict with one another. Fourth point for cons is incorrect fact. A requirement assessed fact that cannot be true under the conditions specified for the system. The fifth fact for cons is extraneous information. Unnecessary or unused information, at best It is irrelevant at worst. It may confuse requirements users. And last point for cons is miscellaneous defects, which is other errors such as including a requirement in the wrong section. And the Kano model for perspective-based reading is a base factor which is a dissatisfier. Thank you.